G'day everyone, I'm Brian and welcome to my introduction to Kuala Lumpur, the most underrated city in Southeast Asia in my opinion. And I've been here 17 times and for almost 5 weeks on this occasion. There's a few reasons why I've been here 17 times. First time I came here, my girlfriend Nicole, we just met, but she'd already booked a trip to KL and I ended up going on that trip. And for many years we used to get super cheap flights from Coolangatta in the Gold Coast where I live in Australia to come up to Kuala Lumpur, maybe a couple of $100 US return for both of us. So I wouldn't just take cheap flights just because they were cheap. I still have to like the destination, but it really played into our hands because we do like Kuala Lumpur. Malaysia is the most multicultural city in Asia. Now there's approximately, it depends on the source we read, but it's around these numbers. So 60% of Malay heritage, 22% of Chinese heritage, 5% Indian heritage, 12% indigenous heritage, non-Malay, and then there's a small percentage of, say, expats and migrant workers, etc. And it really adds to the flavour of this place, being so multicultural. And I say Asia because I've been to Taiwan, I've been to Japan many times, I've been to Hong Kong and mainland China, all of Southeast Asia except for Laos and Myanmar. Cheap 4 and 5 star hotels and serviced apartments. So good hotels and apartments on short stay can cost less than 100 US a night, for $100 US or less. And often in the better hotels you get the most cracking buffet breakfast I've had anywhere in the world. It's a combination of Western, Malay, Chinese, Indian, got omelette stations, but any decent hotel here will generally have an incredible buffet breakfast included in that price. Monthly stays, like we're doing here through Airbnb, or Booking.com is doing a lot of these as well, in modern condo apartments, blocks with top-line facilities in the best areas, can be had for $50 US a night or less. Will be even cheaper for 12-month or longer leases if you're an expat or you're working here for a company. And I would say at the upper end of apartment condos in the best areas in KL, it's even cheaper than Bangkok. The best areas, upper end apartment condos in the best areas with the best facilities. We spent 3 months in Thailand last year, in 2023, and I'd say they're even cheaper here in Kuala Lumpur. Incredible variety of food at cheap prices. Again, the multiculturalism comes in here. Again, I would say around the same sort of prices as Bangkok. That Bangkok can be a little bit cheaper, and it's just a matter of degrees. You're talking $2, $3, $4, not a gap, but this is a price range as you're in. But Thailand has a lot of street food, but a lot of people don't eat street food, so it kind of negates the fact that unless you're prepared to eat street food, KL and Bangkok are kind of similar in prices. If you're eating a lot of street food, Bangkok will be even cheaper again. But full service restaurants in KL, sit down meals, if someone comes and serves you, like we were at a nice Thai place the other night, I would say are even cheaper than the Bangkok equivalent. And not that much more cheaper than the price of food in the food courts in Kuala Lumpur. So say you're looking at $3 to $5 US in a food court in Kuala Lumpur. If you go to a full service restaurant, and it just depends. Remember, you can go and get the best steak in KL, it's going to cost you a lot of money. But again, say the Thai place or a good Chinese restaurant, you're looking at about $6.50 to $10 US for a main meal. And I've done a whole series of videos on Kuala Lumpur's different food courts, especially around this Bukit Bintang KLCC area, and they'll be coming later. Malaysian people are overall friendly, helpful and polite. As much as any country we have been in Southeast Asia, except for the two that I mentioned we haven't been to, so we don't know, Laos and Myanmar. And being in Thailand, which is known as the land of smiles, I would say the Malaysians are more outgoing friendly than the Thais. That's my experience being here. It could be the language, I'll get to that in a moment. But the amount of people, I was walking around a park yesterday doing some bird photography, the amount of people that say hello and smile to you is unbelievable. So it's not just in the 5-star hotels or good restaurants where you're expecting people to be polite and friendly because that's what you're paying for it to an extent. This is just people out and about, just wandering around, local Malay people of different heritages. English, and this is one of the big things about Kuala Lumpur. It's the common language. So even though people from different heritages here in KL will speak their native language to each other, like to family and friends, English is the second language in Malaysia. So you don't really need to worry about the old translator app on your phone when you're here in Malaysia. And I think it's another reason it's easy to communicate here with people that are just Malaysian citizens, because almost everyone speaks English. Very cheap ride shares. So the main one here is Grab. They bought out Uber a number of years ago. But I've done a whole other video that's coming up soon on the price of Grabs. But if they've also got a good public transport system here, some people use it. I don't use it because in the Bukit Bintang area where you're most likely to come and stay, KLCC around the Twin Towers, and in the Bukit Bintang, you're probably going to either walk or take a Grab to your hotel or from your hotel and back. But I'll get that video out as well about the prices. Airfares. Now, AirAsia is the biggest low-cost carrier in Southeast Asia, and it just happens to be based here in Kuala Lumpur. So whether it's local internal flights like from here to Langkawi or Penang or one of the local islands, or Thailand or Vietnam, Singapore or Sumatra, prices are cheap. So for instance, I was looking at prices to fly an hour over to Sumatra from KL. Was it $60 US return? Something like that. Langkawi can be had for $20 or $30 return, depending on how you pick your seats or add your baggage and stuff like that. So it's the big hub for AirAsia, and you can get around so much of Southeast Asia and even beyond. We booked AirAsia to go to Sri Lanka towards the end of this trip that we're here. So again, we've been almost here 5 weeks in KL, this time heading to Langkawi tomorrow. There is so much green space. So we've all been to big cities which are kind of like a concrete jungle. KL's not one of them. And you'll notice something when you drive from the airport into KL, it is all the green space. Right here in the city, you'll be in a Grab and you'll see pockets of rainforest still left in this city. And when you over in this direction, I've got the kind of pointed towards Twin Towers. Over in that direction, there's just hills all surrounding Kuala Lumpur, covered in green and forest. Incredible amount of green space. So you've got all the facilities of a modern city, all the conveniences of a modern city, but still with tons of green space, so you don't feel all locked in. The main tourist area around here, Bukit Bintang, KLCC, is compact and easily walkable. So you don't really need to traipse halfway across the city to get to somewhere else. A lot of what you will need, apart from going out on day trips and stuff like that, is right here in this area, and it's easy to walk around. I do a whole video on how to walk around KLCC, Bukit Bintang, undercover and mostly in air conditioning. I can literally walk from here at the Twin Towers and go for 30 to 40 minutes sheltered, underground or undercover, and a lot of it in air conditioning. So if you're worried about rain or anything like that, that's going to show you how to get around to a lot of these places, not even have to worry about the weather. There are plenty of bars and restaurants, but without the seediness of some areas in some well-known Southeast Asian city. So again, plenty of bars and restaurants, nightlife, but without the seediness, and it's family friendly, and in our experience, very safe. So again, KL's very safe, family friendly city, plenty of things to do both in town and day trips to surrounding areas. So what do most people use KL for? A stepping stone to go somewhere else. It could be one night, sometimes 2 or 3 nights. Now that's enough, but there is so much to see around here. You can take day trips to Malacca, the Genting Highlands, Cameron Highlands, etc. Or have you ever heard of the islands they have in Malaysia that you can use Air Asia flights to get to? Have you ever heard of Redang Island or Tiaman Island or Perhentian Islands? These are just as beautiful exotic tropical islands as, say, for instance, Thailand, and they have them here in Malaysia. Again, with the domestic flights the way they have here, it's easy to get around flying or even driving, because I do another video on the best private taxi service in Kuala Lumpur, and they'll take you all around Peninsula Malay if that is what you would like to do. So don't just think of KL, look a bit further out as just a stepping stone just to always go somewhere else. Malaysia has so much natural beauty. Anyway, that's my introduction to Kuala Lumpur from myself, the most underrated city in Southeast Asia. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.